All right, everyone. So I have a bit of a different video here. It's gonna be over order flow or high RR versus maybe like a PA or an ICT strategy or low R. You can, mix around vice versa things, but I'm simply just going to take you through my thought process and explain why I think that a lot of the stuff that you see online is BS, and you can create your own opinion, but this is mine. I don't mean to offend anyone, but I kind of thought that there's a lot of misconception going on online, and maybe I can explain some stuff a little better for you guys. So I'm going to open up this slide here. I have about 5 slides or so, and I'm going to read you through. I couldn't really fit them on here, so I put them on Google Docs, and the link to this slide here and all these will be in the description, free for everyone. Okay. 98% of reality. Um, It's commonly said that around 98, 99% of traders will fail. I could even dive into this myself. This is not true. It's actually around 80, 88% or so. But in general, we're going to stick with the 98 just because that's what people know and it's tick for tat kind of thing. Um, Out of the 2%, the people that actually make it, they don't do high risk reward systems. This is proven. You can simply do research on this and find this out. Yes, it is possible to be profitable with high risk to reward, but trading is not about what's possible, it's about probabilities. So a high R system is going to have a lower win rate. It's going to create longer losing streaks, obviously, and it's going to rely on a perfect discipline, which is very, very hard for an average trader, okay? It's almost nearly impossible, actually, for someone to have a perfect discipline unless you're running an algorithm based off something that even has a low win rate in the first place. Okay, I forgot there's something else I want to touch on here. It looks like it didn't show up. I had AI kind of help me with the format, so it looks pretty nice for you guys. But um, yeah, it's just very hard for someone to be very consistent and generally um, is also supposed to say that the 2%, there's around 1.8% of that 2% aren't doing high risk to reward. They might be doing order flow, but this is just a mix of like everything. Um, so I think I'll talk about it here a little down more. I'll read this first. Low risk to reward, high win rate systems, they hit more often, which is going to be a lot easier on your psychology. That's just proven. Nobody can argue with that. They're easier to execute. That's also true. You not have to execute a lot of trades, so it's in turn going to be easier. They're going to have higher survival probability based off an equity curve. You want the everything simplified down trading is going to be based off your equity curve, right? How consistent you are over time and beating the markets, right? A high risk reward system has a terrible equity curve. And considering that's the whole thing about trading, that should say something. So the real question is, if trading is a probability game, everybody knows that if you're an actual trader, why would you not choose the highest probability path? Right? Like I said, out of the 2%, wouldn't you want to be part of the 1.8% that actually make it versus the 0.2 that do? I'm not saying that there's nobody that does, but probability standpoint, it makes zero sense to go the other way. The traders who survive don't chase what looks impressive, they choose what works most often. That's also kind of just obvious. Most of this stuff's going to be obvious, but there's a lot of people that don't understand this, and it's very hard to grasp for some people. Okay. Slide 3. Okay, the shiny button problem, aka meaning high risk reward / order flow trades, right? They're gonna catch your eye because you aren't thinking of the bad. Whenever you're looking into like something to trade or to buy someone's stuff, you have to look at what's bad. People only look at what's good, and people rush into things. Okay, please take your time and also look for things that are bad. Even when entering a trade, I'll just throw this in here. Always look at what you shouldn't, like what's bad versus what's good. You see your confluences, but are you looking, at the higher time frame? All those kind of things. You have to think of what is your, pros versus cons. They look impressive. You feel like you're missing out. They look exciting. They're too good to ignore. It's a shiny button syndrome. People click what looks flashy, might be what works. Why it looks better than it is? Because nobody shows losses. They don't show their losing streaks. They don't show their blown accounts. Only the wins get posted. That's not true for every single person, but I guarantee you there's not a single high risk reward person that shows you every execution. Not a single one. I literally can't name you a single one. They don't show their executions. They can't show you executions every single day because they're hiding everything. Okay? Only the winners get posted. This creates fake sense of success. Okay, you can say, right, oh, well, maybe, they're only posting their wins and stuff. That's fine, but you have to understand the truth. That's not realistic. Proof of this: name one person slash LARP, meaning someone that is fake stuff, right? Like if you are going to sell something, even if you didn't know anything, I don't know a single person that wasn't doing high risk to reward. Every single person that's got exposed for faking stuff and selling like horse is all high risk to reward. Every single one of them. And that's just because it catches the eye, right? Everybody wants it. Everybody wants that order flow because it seems like it's better. You're getting a better edge at the market. It's just not true. Most of it's hindsight, cherry pick trades, highlight reels, right? TikToks, all that kind of stuff. You have to be careful. Okay, order flow is misunderstood. Most order flow traders don't even actually understand order flow. I guarantee you there is many, 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 many mentorships on here that the person that's leading it doesn't even understand these concepts that I'm about to go over. In the New York session alone, hundreds of billions of dollars are traded on NQ every single day. I guarantee you not a lot of people know that. NASDAQ futures average daily about $240 billion. It's going up recently. It's probably closer to 300 billion. Some days are closer to half a trillion. That's just how it goes. You can look this up on cmegroup.com. It's a true statistic. Sorry, I can't say that word. I'm really bad at saying that word. But that is a true statistic. And based off like Apple, there's like 13 billion. And that's just every other pair. And they're all putting it together. Okay? Now ask this. If billions are traded, why do people say, oh, well, there's only 20 orders on Bookmap. Oh, your 80 contracts would show up on the DOM. It's because Orderflow softwares do not show full market data. Bro, people that trade Bookmap tell me all the time, hey, there's 20 orders here. That is not 20 mini futures. That's not even close. That's probably 1,000. I mean, I can't say the specific number, obviously, but those are thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of contracts being traded. Okay, so that's just a simple concept there. The DOM is not going to show every single order because most of the orders are not important. Big whales in the markets, whenever you look at big trades, right, you might be like, oh, 100 big trades. That is not 100 mini futures contracts. Those are thousands, like I said, of contracts. People don't understand that. It is a proven fact. Go find a single source that is true and isn't by some BS that is saying or that is denying what I'm saying right now. What order flow tools really show? Okay, they showed filtered data to make it simpler. They show sorry, I can't read that word. I think AI built that one. Orders, they show fractions of real trades. This is simply just to fraction it down and make it simpler. If you had to read very big numbers every single time, it's going to be really hard to read, okay? And it's not just that, there's a bunch of other reasons. If you want to look up level 3 data, go ahead on YouTube, maybe look up like level 3 data live or something. You will see trillions of transactions. It is insane. And that is every single second of the market. Like I said, level 3 is the real market. Okay, level 2 data and level 1 data are not going to show you everything that's going on. And that's what's the misconception. Okay, level 3 is going to show you every order flow or every order. It's going to show you every modification, cancel, take profit, stop loss, all that kind of stuff. Most retail traders never see that kind of stuff. They will not know this. Most people that are watching this are going to be you're going to be more educated than the person just because you're watching this. I guarantee maybe 60, 70% of order flow traders don't know this. Honestly, it's probably more, giving the benefit of the doubt. It's not that I don't blame you. Like I said, no one explains it. I don't blame anyone, but trust the internet slash TikTok people. It's a big lie and money fuel for the market and LARPs to essentially take your money. Okay. Um, okay. Simplicity is the real edge. Having more screens, tools, or indicators. I'm not saying that that does not mean that you essentially won't make it. That's not my point that I'm trying to bring. But it does mean that you're likely overcomplicating something that shouldn't be. You don't need 10 indicators, order flow, stacks, the DOM, fancy software, gamma exposure, JAX, TPO, all these order flow stuff that is simply just going to confuse you. Like I said, that does not mean that it doesn't work. It's just simply stuff that is, I should honestly add in here standard deviation. That is a huge one. Standard deviation does not work. Okay? Yes, they do top and bottom tick probably all the time, but it's because of other reasons. Let's be honest. It is not because of the random lines that you've drawn. Okay. And that's, like I said, not to say it doesn't work, and this is all my opinion. I'd love to hear you guys. You can leave comments on this video or find me somewhere and let me know. What actually works, you can learn simple concept online and be profitable with it. As long as you're using correct risk management, you're consistent, and a big one is intuition. A lot of these profitable people are online, okay? These people that you talk about are not on Discord. They're not on WhatsApp. They're not on Telegram, giving out signals. Those are not profitable people. The profitable people are not even online. They're most likely just trading, living their life. That's the kind of things that they're doing. But they have insane intuition, and I guarantee if you gave them some booty model, they would be able to profit off of it, strictly based off intuition. So do not compare yourself to others because everyone's on their own journey. The right order is obviously going to be different for some people, but what I would recommend is watching a solid boot camp. I recommend like TJR, PB Trading, very simple boot camps. I even have one myself. It's completely free. It's just basic information to get started. Then I would recommend spending some time with the markets yourself, maybe a month or so, paper trading. Understand patterns, not specifically like pattern trading, like you see this shape, you place a trade, but understanding the way that the market moves and how it's moved throughout the years, if that makes sense. Then you can refine, make it simple, find what works, like I said, research about equity curves and move that into traditional discretionary models. Okay, equity curves are very, very important because, if you have a bad equity curve, you're most likely not going to be consistent over a long period of time. Then, if you still need help, you can find guidance, optimize it. Maybe you are doing good with, create your own concepts. That's what I did. I created my own concepts. You have to think outside of the box. Don't be stuck inside of the box. Most people that are trading want to escape the matrix, but as soon as they go into trading, they're still stuck in that same matrix mindset, if that makes sense. I don't know why this is not the other way around. Okay, and in the end, I just want to say thank you guys for watching. You can let me know your thoughts in the comments. Please feel free to debate me. I have sources for every single thing I've said in here. I'm not here to sell anything or to, I simply just thought that there's a lot of people that don't understand the truth in the markets and are getting caught up in lies and losing their money to people trying to sell them stuff. Like I said, the link for this slide and every single one of these are public. Is going to be in the description of the video. Just scroll down, click more right under the video. It'll be in the description. Thank you for watching.